Hey guys, for this first week, we are going to just review some things that we've already done, and we'll see how it goes, and we'll try to build off of that. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to simply make our light dependent resistor circuit, where we're going to take our LED, our LDR, light dependent resistor. Remember, we talked about those, how it resists current depending on how much light is being shined upon it. And then we're going to have a battery pack with leads for our positive and our negative. Not everybody has that because I didn't have that many battery packs available, so you may have a simple coin cell battery that's positive and negative, or a pack of coin cell batteries that's positive and negative, and the positive's labeled. I'll show you how to do both of those, but you guys are smart, so you could go out and research it and look up videos as well. Again, this is kind of, we've done this in class, but we want to just keep moving on it and see if we can build off of it here in the future. Anyway, we'll do our best with it. So let's start off with our, well, let's take this one. LED. Obviously, our longer leg is our positive. Remember, this is a diode, so it'll only let the current flow in one direction, from the positive to the negative, so we don't want to have that backwards. We just plug that into our breadboard. It doesn't matter where exactly it's at, but remember, we have rails in our breadboard here that each column, their columns here, is going to be connected to one another. So this whole entire column here is connected with a metal rail, and so is this, okay? So the first thing we're going to do after we get our LED plugged in is, let's take our LDR, our resistor. Remember, a resistor just limits the flow of current to a component. This is a special type of resistor. This is our light dependent resistor, because the top of this is made to see how much light is being shined upon it, and it will, with a lot of light, it lets current flow through it. When it's dark, it resists the flow of current, so you will get less current flowing to your component that's connected to it. I'm going to try to make this not a super long video, but I've seen we're already at 3 minutes, so bear with me here. What we're going to do is we're going to create our circuit. So we have our battery pack with our positive. We're going to run our positive. Our positive is on this side of our LED, remember? So we're going to connect it on the same column as our resistor, so you can see it's connected there, so that it's going to flow up the resistor. The resistor is going to, depending on how much light is hitting it, resist or not resist this flow of current through the resistor. It's going to go back up this rail through the positive leg of the LED, and then it needs to go back out of. So if everything's wired up correctly and everything's pushed down, when this ground, or the negative, is plugged into this rail, this should complete the circuit and our LED will light up. Beautiful. So what we want to do is test our LDR, and it's kind of hard to do this in my room here. The lights are on, so it's not resisting very much, if hardly at all. So we're seeing a lot of light shine through it. If we cover this up with our finger, which doesn't do a great job, you can see it dim a little bit. And remember, we did this in class, but I want us to actually run through this yourselves to kind of keep up with this, since that's what our objective is here. I'm gonna actually just take this dark cloth. You could use a piece of tape if you wanted, and I'm gonna cover it up because it's actually blocking out the light a lot better. And then off, low to no resistance, high resistance. So it's resisting the flow of current to our LED. If you were one of the students that got the packet that has a coin cell battery or a little block of coin cell batteries and whatever, I will rig this up and put some electrical tape on it. Your setup's going to be a little bit different because you're not going to have these leads from the battery pack to plug into your breadboard, so we're going to have to do it a different way. What you're going to do is you're going to take 2 of your little jumper wires that were provided. I'm using black and red just because it's easier to identify what's the positive and negative. It doesn't really matter, they work the same way. And I'm going to plug in my positive to the positive just like you would from the leads from your battery pack, and I'm going to take the negative and I'm going to plug it in to follow the column with the shorter end of your LED. And then simply what you have to do is you just kind of have to pinch both sides on the battery so that you're completing your circuit. Positive is the flat side, it has a plus on it. Negative goes on the bottom. And if you hold it in your fingers, I know this is more of a pain, but you will get the same result. Let me try to cover it up here, and you should get the same result. Okay? Same thing goes for this little guy. Positive, negative. There you go. Let me cover it up. Boom, boom. You'll see it dim. All right, there we go. Don't forget to create your Google Doc and share it with me to explain exactly how this works. Hopefully my explanation will work. If you need to do a little bit more research, go ahead. I hope this helped. I know it was a little bit long, but bear with me. We're trying to make this work. So on to the next.